Well, hello internets, here we are. As you can tell, we are not in Camrose anymore, not in the trailer. We're back home. I've got a little bit of a story to tell. And yeah, welcome to our vlog. So, here we go. Well, I have no idea where to start my story or, how to begin. But it's been 3 weeks since my last vlog, roughly. I think the last time I vlogged was in the parking lot in Camrose after the rough day of traveling, being turned down and away and all that stuff. It's weird how things work, how doors get closed, how plans change, how you have things laid out in a certain order for a reason, and then things start going so fast. And I had planned to do a couple of stops, end up in Wetaskiwin, I think there was 5 or 6 stops in Wetaskiwin, and then make my way a little bit further north before going west. I probably would have been out for another 5 or 6 days, maybe a week more, if things wouldn't have happened the way they happened, and if I wouldn't have got shut down at Wetaskiwin like I did. You know, I planned to go through Edmonton, stop some stops there, up to a town called Gibbons. There's a, I think it's called Jurassic Forest up there. That would be neat to see, and, you know, spending a night or 3 here and there along the way, and then basically going straight down the highway to home. However, the way things turned out, I was frustrated, I was tired, I was cranky, you know how it is, right? And after the tail end of the journey like that, you know, you kind of just want to go home anyways. It wouldn't take much to give you that shove in the homeward bound direction. I did miss out on about 12 to 15 stops that were left undone from this vacation or this trip. However, that's always what the future's for, right? That being said, I got back home, parked the trailer in the stall, you know, the truck and stuff, gave back to where she needed to go, and really, I was so tired that I just bagged up my cold goods and took out a couple of personal needs out of the trailer, because I was going to come back the next day and clean it out proper, and then she's good to go. Well, within about 3 days I started to get like sniffles, like allergies kind of a thing, which is not anything out of the ordinary for me, but on that 4th night or 4th day it hit me really hard. I come down with, I'm not entirely sure what it was. Bronchitis, lung infection. I haven't been that rough for a very long time. And I am still not over it now, 3 weeks later. However, at the same time, I'm not the kind of guy to run to the doctor just because you stubbed your toe. So I suffered through what I had, and let's just say there was a few days there where it felt like I got kicked in the ribs by, well, a horse or something, because I'll spare you the unpleasantries, but that was nasty, and I probably should have had it looked at, or went and had chest x-rays and maybe antibiotics or whatever the doctor chooses to give me, you know, and maybe have fought it a little bit quicker or better, you know, with less damage to myself. But at the same time, I'm a little bit stubborn like that, you know. Well, over the last 3 weeks, a lot has happened in terms of around me, in terms of town-wise, people-wise, event-wise. We just finished having Canada Day here the other day, and I was still feeling a little rough, and I'm not one for the crowds, but I could have went to the fireworks, but you know, it was kind of one of those weekends that was a little bit of a rough weekend, that a few things happened and my anxiety flared, and you know, you come to the realization that your life is changing again, once again, just when you thought you had some form of stability. You find out that it was a false stability, false promises, false hopes that were built up by somebody, and then you realize that once again you're on your own, and once again it's the only person you can count on is yourself, which is kind of the way it should be anyway, because you know that you're going to stay true to what you say and true to what you hold yourself to, where not a lot of any other people would do the same. So, that being said, you know, I've got a few things to kick over, a few things to think about. The next couple of months will be decision-making time, whether I stay for you know, another year, or whether I pull out and go somewhere else. But I have done some digging and research what I can find, and really, unless things change, I'm pretty much stuck here. So it's kind of is what it is, right? The only other thing I could do is move elsewhere in town here. But at the same time, there really is not much wrong with this building itself. Other than, while I was gone, somebody moved in upstairs, and whoever the genius was in the office put somebody with a large dog and a small child above somebody with anxiety, insomnia, and other things, sleep deprivation and stuff like that. So the dog or fat cat or whatever's up there pounds around till probably 2:30 or so in the morning, and then in the morning around 6:30 or so, the kid wakes up and starts running up and down the hallway or around the upstairs apartment. Now, at first I thought I was a little sensitive to the noise because, well, I haven't had anybody jumping on my ceiling for 12 years. And even in my previous apartments that I had, they were quieter than this. And over the last 3 weeks, I've come to realize that, yeah, no, they are noisy. They are inconsiderate. They are interrupting my sleep patterns. You know, between the kid running around for no apparent reason and the dog or the cat, whatever's up there, and you know, you can tell the difference between an adult walk and a child walk just based on their stride, and you can tell the difference between a human walk and an animal, once again based on their stride and the number of feet pounding. So, you know, it's either a four-legged child or it's a dog or something up there running around. Now, the dog you can kind of handle because it doesn't thud and bang like a bowling alley. Where the kid, I have no idea if they're doing gymnastics up there or, you know, swinging from the chandelier and letting go and bouncing off the walls. But there was a few times when I was deep sick like that I'd be trying to sleep and I'd be jarred awake by what sounded like a semi crashing through my building. But that could have been just oversensitivity to environmental noises because I wasn't feeling well either. That being said is, I have a certain budget that I have in mind that I want to spend for an apartment. There are some nice apartments in this town, but they range from like 11 to 1500 plus a month, which is not a lot when you consider what rents are in other towns, as I found out. However, why should I pay $1,200 for a nice quiet apartment on the 4th floor? Then I wouldn't have any money to do anything else. I'd have to stay here in the apartment 23 and a half hours a day because I couldn't afford to go anywhere else, because all my money or my budget has gone to paying the rent, paying bills and groceries and things like that. Now, when you add up the expenses that I am enduring, really the only difference between where I'm at right now and living in the house, financially wise, is about $300 a month. When you factor in the water bill, which was like $164, and the gas bill, which still was right around between $60 to $74 even in the summer months, and God help you in the winter months, if you even tried to have a little bit of warmth, you could be sitting at a $300 a month gas bill. The power bill was like $174 in the house, and it's like, under $100 here, so that's definitely a bonus. I have no idea why it was so much money at the house, how bills cost more there when you consider, the time that I was there by myself. The bills should have been way less. But when you look at your utility bill, there's something called a distribution fee, and they charge you to bring the power to your house, even though the service has already been there for 50 years. They still charge you, $80 a month for $60 in power use. That was a little bit of a learning experience there. And in terms of if I had to rent a stall for the RV, in terms if I had to rent a garage to do woodworking in or stuff, then it definitely wouldn't be any cheaper living where I'm living, because all that would have been put out in rental for the shop, the garage, the RV stall, stuff like that. So the only saving grace living here in an apartment is not having to torture yourself doing yard work, shoveling snow, all that stuff that was physically, mentally, emotionally draining that I just couldn't do, especially at that time in my life. I reach out trying to find people, and at a time where the economy is said to be low when people are out of work, nobody wanted to come do yard work. Nobody wanted to make money to get paid to help trim trees or help mow the grass or to help shovel snow. Nobody wanted to. And it's not like I was offering them $5 to do the snow shoveling all winter. I would have paid fairly well to have the snow done every, second or third day to have it shoveled, or when there was a big dumping of snow, or however the agreement was written out. My thoughts have turned to what my plans are for the rest of the summer. There might be another little short hop in the trailer if I can finish cleaning it out, if they're happy, if there's not too much damage to it from the gravel roads, mountain road stuff, because it was quite the adventure. But as for the fall, forecasting right now, just guessing, there could be a couple trips to Edmonton for Ice on White, Candy Cane Lane. There is a is it Edmonton International Raceway, is that what it is, has a drive-through light display. I think that would be interesting to do it. Even if I have to go up and get a motel room overnight or two and then come back the next day or whatever, and things like that. There won't be much adventures for the winter, just mainly because it's the winter, and I don't, well, in the past, especially the downward spiral past, I really didn't do much for the winter. But you know how things go, right? Life changes, things changes. You try to regroup and adjust to your environmental conditions, and just to how things have changed, and keep on rolling. But it's kind of is what it is, and around we go. So probably going to get on with the day here. I'm not sure if I'm going to venture on out today. I have a little bit of a project on the go that I should pick up some stuff, supplies for, and if I can be clear-headed enough to work out my measurements, I can have them cut my material and then not have to worry about having to hand cut it, or you know, use a saw here to cut material with, and have to rebuy some screws and maybe a screwdriver bit. I'm not 100% sure where mine have gone, but that's a small hurdle to climb. So gonna go out, do a couple things, and we will catch y'all later. Well, hello internets, here we are. A little bit of a closing update. Well, it's been a good day. Got some running around done. Well, got a call from the fabricating shop on Friday saying that my project was nearing completion, meaning there was one more piece left to cut, and if I wanted to pick it up before quitting time, they would run it through and have it cut for me. Well, because it was long weekend Friday, and their thoughts were knocking off early to go to the lake or whatever they do on long weekend Fridays, they were closing early, so I would have had to have dropped everything and ran across town to pick it up. So instead I said, would it be okay if I picked it up Tuesday afternoon? So we had made an agreement that Tuesday afternoon I would go down there, pay the bill, pick up the items, and then head on over to the paint shop. Well, I went down there, and lo and behold, the job wasn't even done yet. 2 pieces are done, 2 pieces are sitting there, but they're waiting for the 4th piece to be cut, and then the 3rd and 4th piece mated together, and then it'll be good to go. So they were supposed to get that done yesterday, in fact, and then give me a call to come pick it up. Now I know I'm feeling a little bit of frustration with the whole ordeal, because, well, by now this was early May that the project was started, and here we are in early July, and it's still not complete. Now I know I'm not their only customer, I know I'm not you know, their only priority, but how long does it take to cut a simple small rectangle piece of metal? You know, it's not like it's a silhouette, it's not like there's fine detail to it, it's just a rectangle piece of metal. You know, I could do it myself with an angle grinder, in fact, that which is what I was going to do to begin with, except they came back with artwork that was above and beyond what I ever asked for or ever could have wanted, and then I ran with that instead of going with the original project or project ideas. So of course it's going to be nice when it's done. However, it could be a full a full, 3.5 years by the time it is all said and done, painted and installed. So it's kind of a little bit, I had hopes that it would have been done on my holidays, and then I could have installed it for Father's Day, and it would have been all good to go, kind of symbolic, kind of all the way around. But there was other things that came up, I guess, on their end, and the job didn't get done until after I got back. And then when I got back, it was done like one piece and then a break and then another piece and then a break. So I'm not entirely sure what they're doing, if they're trying to keep the costs low by working it through when the men are bored, or if because it's not a high priority, expensive, commercial kind of customer job, it's not really a high priority. I guess it is what it is, as long as it gets done eventually. It's one of them things that when it's going to be done, it's going to be nice, and once it's done once, it's going to be done to the point where I won't have to do it again, or at least by the time I'm old enough to have to do it again, I'll be too senile to care, and I'll be making one of those for me to for my headstone as well. Well, like I said, did some running around, stopped by the post office box, checked the fan mail, there was nothing. Stopped by the Home Depot. There was a couple other stops that I did. Ended up going for a walk around the park, which was nice. I got away from walking. I was walking a bit before I went on holidays, and then I walked a lot when I was on holidays, like a lot. And then when I got back, I had the lung infection or bronchitis or whatever this is or was, and I didn't walk pretty much at all for those 3 weeks because, well, I couldn't really much function at all. So it was kind of nice to do another walk around the park. I would like to try to keep semi-momentum going and things kind of rolling the way they are. But that pretty much concludes the first vlog back after my big vacation. A lot has gone on during the 3 weeks. I will try to cover more of it over the next few vlogs, and well, kind of taking it on from there. And as always, thanks for watching Maxwell's vlog. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.